Bitcoin, very nice move above the 4-hour moving averages, and now we're in sideways consolidation, holding above them. I'm still looking for it to continue higher, and so far this still looks like a correction. Why does it still look like a correction? If I go all the way down under the hood, here's a 5-minute chart or even a 15-minute chart, then I'm looking at I'm looking at these corrections lower, the moves lower, and if I measure from high to low, we've made perfect ABC corrections. So the moves lower are corrective, they're not kind of a new downswing. I do know that everybody though is going to be talking about, oh, look at this head and shoulders, and is it valid? Yes, it is valid. And if it does break down short term, then we are going to see a short term bigger correction before the market decides which way it's going to go next. The neckline of this head and shoulders pattern is the 236 fib retrace. The 236 fib retrace for me is always like my bull bear line in Fibonacci terms. So as long as we stay above this, which is at 72.50 in dollar terms at Bitfinex, as long as we stay above 72.50, I think that we're still in an uptrend. If we close below the 72.50 level, I don't know, on an hourly time frame, then I'm going to say that we're in a correction. And then for me, the support is going to be 50% of this rally. And that also meets the head and shoulders pattern target support level. So 72.50 is trend support today. And if we see a bigger pullback, 69.670. 69.70 is the support level. We need to keep quite a close eye on Bitcoin because, you know, it is quite correlated with stock indexes. And stock indexes are getting absolutely smashed on this China news. This is a NASDAQ. So we're in potentially a bit of trouble if stocks properly crash today. We've seen it before, we could see Bitcoin come down with them. If Bitcoin does come down with them, 69.70 is where the support is. But I'm pretty confident in this uptrend, and I think that if we hold up the way we've held up so far, especially with the stock sell-off that we've seen in this last week, makes me pretty confident for Bitcoin. And you know, when Bitcoin sold off in December, it was 2 weeks ahead of the sell-off in the US stock indexes. And I think that if Bitcoin can make a bottom here, then I think it's a good sign for stock indexes going forward as well, and kind of risk assets. So far so good, sideways, even though we're in a pretty tough risk off day for Bitcoin. If we do the same exercise for Bitcoin Euro quickly, those levels. So we're going to go from high to low. It's not quite as pretty a head and shoulders pattern, but it is there. So high to low, 59.61, which was the low this hour, is the 236 fib. We've had a little look below it, but we haven't managed to close below it. And if we do head lower, then 50% of the entire rally would be where this pattern takes us to. Here's the neckline. This is Coinbase Euro prices. Okay, so the neckline is actually a little bit lower at 59.30. And if we drop, then we're going to go to 57.12 in Euro prices. Okay, so let's go back to that US dollar and look for targets again, because really what we're looking for later today, or when the market stabilizes, is a turn higher through this trend line resistance on our 4-hour chart, and then above 78.65 is our bullish confirmation that we've not only just stopped going down, but actually we're going to go higher from here. So looking good so far. I have a little rule, you know, about declining wedges, and it's to do with parallels. So this is the bottom line of our declining wedge here, and here's the top line. They're not parallel. What I try and do is I clone this line so that I make it a parallel channel, and I project that from the high. So I'm doing that from the 5th of March high. So this parallel channel upper trend line will now, if we break out from this descending trend line, become my new target. And that also looking for this 4-hour 200 moving average up here, so around 8,700. But easy way to do it for me is fibs. So Fibonacci retrace levels, I'm looking for the 50%, so 9,095 as well. So this trend line, the 4-hour 200 moving average, and 9,095 for the upside target.